Okay everyone, so we're back at this to get this powder coated in this session, this live stream. So, in the last live stream, I attached this lower layer, this tape at the bottom here, this high temperature tape. But I was happy with it. But the thing is, I changed my mind on how I'm going to do this. I'm going back to my original plan on the feather and the powder coat into the mirror. So we don't want this sharp edge seen here. So I'm just going to peel this right off. And the one at this side too. So we're going to take this one off too. And I'm going to go back to my original idea. So I'm going to get this done now in the next 20 minutes, 30 minutes, and then we'll get it put into the oven, we'll heat it up a bit and we'll apply the powder. So here we go. So the only thing that's concerning me here is these wee spiders running about. Because now that I've changed my mind on the way that I'm going to tape this, look at this hanging from here. You see it? So say if a bit of that spider goes on behind the tape and gets stuck, that will interfere with the powder going in to do this turbulence sort of. It's not going in hitting a sharp edge, it's going in like a circular motion effect. So it leaves a nice feathered edge. So look where that spider is now. It's exactly at the point where I will be doing this. So I don't know what I'm going to do here. I don't know what I'm going to do. I can't risk doing it out here maybe. All it takes is for one of those spiders just crawling around my head and everything here. All it takes is for one of them spiders to ruin the whole thing. So what I'm going to do here is maybe go inside and do this. So I've went away from the original idea of having the straight cut tape on the bottom layer there. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to create like a loop in the tape. So when I direct the powder downhill away from the tape, it will leave a nice feathered edge like this. So that's the plan. But it's risky here because so see the way that, ignore the grit, the dirt on it, that's only there because, well, it's just a bit of scrap that I tried a moment ago. So the problem is now there's spiders crawling up this, and if I put the tape on like the way that I've demonstrated there, like this, the spiders are going to get stuck to it, and it will affect the powder going on, believe it or not. So, I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't even know if I'm going to get this powder coated. I'm going to do my best to try and get it taped here now and get it in the oven, but I don't know where they're coming from. So I might just go inside and do this, so I'll take it in, right? They're everywhere, they're in my head. I went on to get tea here, and I went on to a cup of tea and sip, and they were flipping coming out of my head, out of my hair. So I'm going to have to do it in here instead. I'm going back to the original idea. I'm not using the straight cut edge to blend the white powder into the mirror. So we're going to have to bring it on here. And there's no spiders on here, okay? So just let me get it. I'll be honest, this is probably going to take me a half an hour to do this. These least this is nice and clean. I'll be honest, it is probably going to take me a while to do this. At least no spiders can get stuck on it here, right? Anyway. So I'll just keep her lit anyway, and we'll see how it goes. I would have preferred to be powder coating straight away in the live stream, but this has now got to be twisting things here. Okay, so let me get my tools. So in the last live stream I sanded this, right? This piece. I wish that bulb was white, but it's not, it's yellow, so I have to just deal with it. The last video, the live stream, I put a piece of tape on here, I riz it up away from the zinc. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to go back to my original idea. I'm going to create a loop in the tape, so when I direct the powder at it, it will leave a nice feathered edge rather than a sharp edge. Okay. Now this is tricky to do. Like, consider I'm sitting here live streaming it, so I'll do my best to get it right here. So we have 4 faces to do on each plate. So I have to make sure, okay, so the best thing for me to do is to bring this down as low as I can get it first. So say maybe about 25 mil or an inch away from the bottom, right? The whole way around the plate. It's not going to be easy in here now, but mind you, because I can't believe this is probably going to be another nice too. So keeping it nice and neat, like so. So the first thing I want to do here is clean the surface where the powder is going to be applied, and that's there. Not going to rub it too much because I don't want to scratch it, because the powder is only going to meet, I don't know yet what height I'm going to have the powder. So this is awkward. A really awkward place. So hopefully you can see what I'm doing there, right? But unless I take this out the door, how long do we see here? I could turn it around maybe. Right, I'll turn it around. Sideways. Right, how long do we see? Get more light out of here. Because you can't see very much, I know. I can see that. I can't go outside, but then you'll see why now in a minute. It's impossible for me to go outside. I can open this door up full, but let more light in. Okay, so ignore the wall in the background. I know it's kind of rough, but it's a nice stone wall. Okay, so here we go. We're going to bring the tape down, right? It's probably less. It's a lot less actually. It's about maybe 22 mil away from the bottom here. So we'll turn this around. Oh, and we're going to do the back of it too, and we're going to do this face. Try not to wreck my booth. Right. So we're going to bring the tape down roughly about 20 mil, 22 mil. 20 mil doesn't matter. To about there maybe. You know something? The powder doesn't need to be. You don't want it too low either, right now. This is causing a lot of work in this, I know, but we've started now, we can't stop. That's the problem, when you start something you have to finish it. Otherwise, what's the point? So we have that on there nice and neat. But that's the way that I had it at the start, only lower. So if I spray powder at this now, right, it's going to leave a sharp edge, okay? But if you can imagine, if I swirl the tape and stick the tape back on itself, that will leave it so, well, if the plan is to direct the powder downhill at all times, so we'll do that now. So I think the feathered edge will be coming in probably about, see them scratches I left with the sandpaper. I'm going to bring the feathered edge in maybe about 5 mil down from the tape, okay? So we're going to finish off taping these two bits first, right? We're nearly done right now. And then we're going to do the 4 loops. And I'll probably start on live then. By the time I get this done. But I could do it quicker if I was outside. I'm stuck on a hole here. Not easy, mind, I can tell you that. Okay, so there we have it. So that now allows me to bring the tape that I'm going to put on. You can't see what I'm talking about on the back there. That allows me to bring this loop down lower. It allows me to have more to work with when I'm creating the loop, so I can tape it back on itself. If I was trying to create a loop here, there wouldn't be enough tape in the middle. Okay, so we're nearly ready to do the loops in a minute, right? But I have to first finish off the back of this one. This would also work, it probably would work better actually with spraying, because the electrostatic powder will be trying to pull into the metal object here. I'm hoping it leaves a wee light feathered edge, and it should. Okay, we're going to tape this one and we're going to create the lips. We need, what do we say? Hold on, let's stick this on first. So it's not important how level them bits of tape are there, right? It's important now that the lips, the radius on the tape is the same the whole way across, but also it's important that the loop is below the sharp edge, and yeah, so it's important that the loop's down below the sharp edge, and it's important the radius is the same. It is also important that this loop that I create is running parallel with this edge, and it's kind of, you can't explain it better than that. So here we go. This is the loop. I'm trying not to crease the tape. I'm trying to keep the tape nice and intact. So this is, we're going to bring the tape down as low as we can, maybe. We'll see. So we want this tape. This is tricky to do in a live stream. So what I'm going to do, right? I'll just show. I'm going to put the tape to the bottom of my grooves, and it means it's going to be square to the plate. Oh, where is it? Okay. So I think you can see what I'm doing there now. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn the tape around in a circle, in a curve. This might work, it might not work. It's like a... It's not easy, I can tell you that. What I could do here is get another bit of tape and stick it like that. Might be handier, you know. So there's where I want my powder to be. But we want this tape to stay in a nice radius. So it is going to be always risky, right? But there's not much I can do about it. Right, so the first thing I'm going to do here, right, is going to cut the tape clean with the edges. And the reason I'm going to do that is because, well, let's start it clean. Because I need to put a loop on the end here too, that's the plan. That's not going to work because these scissors are blunt. Oh dear, right. It's going to be tricky. There's nothing we can do here. What if we get a good knife and see if it works better? Maybe I should put the tape in first and cut it. Right, we'll try this. Yeah. Do you see if push comes to shove? I don't really care about the sides. As long as the face of the front and the face of the back is feathered on. Okay. So, as you can see, it's kind of fitter to do. But I could maybe go back on it. So. very foot there. Right, what do we got another bit of tape? You have to use high temperature tape too. That's the problem. So I had to come inside because of the spiders. We don't want the spiders. This tape's the teeth is exposed. I'm gonna maybe use this bit of tape. Right, I might start again. I might try and cut it clean. What do we see? What am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? That would be brilliant if I taped up the gap, but I'm just worried about the edges here. The straighter I get them, the better, so bear with me a minute. I might have to get a new blade for this. Because that blade there's blunt. How do I get one here? So I actually need to be wild careful here because these blades is actually coated in oil from the factory, down the blades. So look, you can actually see the oil. What do we see? If I can get one out without wreck, I'm going to get a bit of thinners and I'm going to take the oil off the blade. At 8 o'clock at night before I get this finished. Right, so I've got a blade here. Let me go get a wee bit of thinners. Okay, so I've got a blade. I'm just taking the thinners or the oil off it with thinners. I'm not even going to bother using a knife. So, what I see if this is better to cut here. It is, right. So let me do this again. So, change of plan for anybody that jumped on. I've just decided to make my life more difficult again. Right, that will do there. So I'm keeping the tape parallel with the bottom of the grooves, keeping it lined up with the grooves so it's parallel with the plate. The two grooves are the same depth, and I'm going to turn it back on itself. But I need to make sure that the tape has no creases in it. And we're going to bring it down below the tape that's already attached to the mirror. Okay. So we're just going to let it fall down itself. But first I need to cut it. So we're going to cut it as square as possible. So as you can see, it's going to take time to do this. I'm going to put it tight to the plate for the meantime. I'm just going to cut down the edge here. There we go, so that's much better this time. Right. The next step now is I'm going to cut a bit of this tape. I'm trying not to waste too much of it, so I'm going to cut it up the middle. Mightn't work right enough. Might just use it. Okay, so we're going to pull this uphill again. And basically what I'm going to do is, I would have preferred to have it sticking by itself because as you can see, it's tricky. It's tricky to get it right. I don't want it like this. Well, would it be alright to get? You know something? Might just leave it like that. Right, so the first thing I'm going to do here is cut a couple of wee tabs off this. I do like making work for myself, I know. Right, so we're going to try and keep the curve about there, right? Oh dear. It fell. Where'd I get that knife? Be here with. Where's my knife? It's on the floor. Okay everyone, so there we have it, right? But what we need to do now is we need to make sure that it's even the whole way across. So I would have liked to tape it in a loop because it creates a bigger radius for this effect that I'm creating here. This feathered in effect. So see what I'm doing there, right? I'm experimenting here. So what I might do is I might finish this side and I might continue the rest off the live stream and then I'll come back and do the powder coating. But let me see if I can get this right in a swoop. Nice and neat. Like that. Yeah. So that will work. That's actually really good there now. I'll bring it down a bit. So basically now when I roll the powder in there, it's creating like a circular motion effect. So it's not a sharp edge. It's sort of like going to create like a feathered in effect. Like this, hold on. So like this. And then do you see any wee bits that overhang? I can go back on the mirror maybe and, well that's the idea. I can take the candy above it, you know what I mean? We'll see. I know. You see the marks there, look, but I never... No. Okay everyone, so what I'm going to do, right, is I'm going to stop, I'm going to finish this off camera. I'm going to start, I'm going to come back to it because it's just too difficult to try and do this on the live stream. But just get to just what I'm doing. So hopefully today I'll be applying the powder, the white base. I want to be doing it because I don't want this lying out. I can put it in the oven till tomorrow right enough. I'll keep it at a certain temperature. But that's what I'll be doing now to the four faces, rather than having the tape straight cut. Okay, so I'm going to go and do it here. I'm going to shut the live stream down. It's just much easier. It's kind of tricky as you can see, so I want to get it right. And I'll start the live stream later on again, hopefully. So goodbye everyone.